Hey everyone, I'm Sam for Bio Cosplay. Today we're taking a look at the SH Figuarts Kyewi from Dragon Ball Z. I'm excited for this one. I know he's just a side character that only briefly appears in the series, but I love his look, and he's got a silly name, and I just think he's kind of a fun character, so I was really looking forward to this one. This is a Bandai exclusive, so hopefully this video will help you decide if you want to try to pick this one up from another website if you didn't happen to get the Bandai pre-order. Here's a look at the package. The background's basically the same color purple as the figure, so it kind of gets lost in there a little bit. Not super important for me because I don't keep them in the package. Shot of the figure on the front. Some black and white photos on the side. And some poses on the back. Here he's out of the package. I think he has a really nice silhouette and all the colors work well together. The head and face look really good. Some of the other heads that I'll show in the accessories are even better than this one, but the one that comes in the package I think is pretty great. He has some little nubbins sculpted on any of the exposed skin parts that gives it a nice texture. The face is painted really well. He's got the two little tendrils coming off the face. I'm maybe a little worried that they might break if they bump into things, but I think they'll be okay. They're not as thin as Piccolo's antennas, and I didn't have any issues with those. In the things on the head, those are painted black inside there. Down at the chest, the armor's in a dark navy blue, and it's glossy, which is a nice contrast to the flat finish on the brown. All the brown bits are cleanly painted, as are the glossy navy blue parts. The gloves are kind of an off-white grayish. And he's got the black pants. Coming down to the boots, these are a little bit of a greenish hue. Looks almost like he's been walking around in some cut grass. I don't remember exactly what the color was in the anime. I'll have to check. Yep, looks like he did have the greenish boots in the anime, so no complaints there. I do like that it's an extra pop of color. And he has the brown cuffs around the ankles as well. So just overall initial impressions, I really like the way he looks. The articulation is going to be where there's some good and some not so good. So first at the head. The head is on this kind of double ball peg with the cap on the top, which I like for swapping out the heads. It makes it feel less like you're going to break the peg. At this top part though, there's not a ton of room for this to shift on the ball. Like, it's a tiny ball and it's set pretty far in there, unfortunately. Then there is another ball peg down at the neck. So looking up, you can look up this much, which is decent. I feel like it could get a little bit more range if that ball peg at the top was done a little bit better, but I don't think it's terrible. Then looking down, also some pretty good range. You can almost bury his chin into his chest. Again, I think if you could get a little bit more out of that top ball, it would be better, but it'll be fine. And then very good side to side tilt. He can touch his, I keep wanting to call these ears, but they're not his ears. You can touch those to the shoulder pads. Oop. And then, of course, swivel, and you can kind of get some nuanced poses out of that. The shoulder pads is something I wish they'd done differently, because these are just on a hinge. So you can't adjust them and position them to hide the gaps. Like with the most recent Vegeta, this had a ball peg at the back. So even when you pose the arm, you could still position the shoulder pad a little bit to make it sort of work. This one, when you pose the arm, it's just going to be straight up in the air. So that's unfortunate. I don't love that. I kind of wish they'd just gone with this one. Otherwise, there is a butterfly joint that works very well. Comes out this far. Pretty ugly from the back, but that's kind of to be expected with that sort of extreme range hinging it out there. There's also some sort of ball peg situation in there, so you can kind of shift that around and up and down. Then at the shoulders, these will come up very far, so that's nice. There is a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows that get not the best range, it seems. It's fine, but nothing crazy. And then ball hinge wrists. They don't have too much issues. They kind of bump into the cuff here a little bit, but it's not too bad. Down at the chest, it can be shifted up a little bit like some of the previous Dragon Ball figures. And that'll allow for more range bending forward. First, bending back. Not a ton of range, but decent. And then forward. Much better range there. It's kind of similar to Ginyu. If you have that one, I feel like you can get a similar look in between the legs pose. There is some side-to-side tilt on that diaphragm joint and a little bit on the waist as well, but not a ton. And then swivel at the waist and a little bit at the diaphragm. The hip flaps are on hinges, so you can hinge these out of the way as well. Unfortunately, you can't pop them off if you don't want them there. I think Captain Ginyu's were at least on a peg, so you could remove them if you didn't like them. But for the legs, these will come out only about this much. And then he can kick forward very well. Back pretty decently as well. He does have double jointed knees. There's a thigh swivel. And then down at the feet. These are on a double ball peg and we'll go back. Oop, I guess if you go too far, you'll pop him out. Okay, so these will go back about this much and forward not a ton. It's kind of similar to most Vegeta feet where you don't get a ton of range. There is a toe hinge there that feels pretty stiff, so that may be useful. And then since it's a double ball peg, there is a rocker in there. So I think the articulation's fine. I didn't expect anything crazy for him. I'm mostly disappointed in the shoulder pads. I don't love this just vertical hinge design, especially since I can directly compare it to the new Vegeta, where this works much better for posing and hiding how ugly the armor can be in action figure form. Have you come to join us, Porchy? Hey, can I help you? This is why these reviews take so long. For accessories, he comes with 4 additional heads. These two on the end are definitely my favorite. One where his eyes are bugged out and he's got this crazy expression where he's being killed by Vegeta. Different sizes. One where he looks kind of, I guess, shocked. And then one where the mouth is open, he's kind of smiling. These two on the end are definitely my favorites. This one is just wonderful. I'll probably have him displayed with this one most of the time, though. They're all painted very well. The tongue is glossy on this one. The little lines on the eyes look very nice. I think they just did a really good job on this one. I love that they included some silly faces. He also comes with 2 scouters that'll work with the head that came on him in the package, and then this head. And the ear just pops off on these, and they're keyed differently, so you can't really mess up which ear they go in. And those look pretty neat. Nice translucent green plastic for the eye, and the scouters are painted well. Be careful with the tendrils on the heads. I had one fall out at some point. I'm not sure when, and it may be lost forever now. For hands, it comes with the fist hands in the package, and then these kind of gripping hands and splayed open hands. It also comes with an alternate faceplate and hand for Vegeta for when he's using dirty fireworks. The alternate face looks pretty good. I don't love that they keep doing like the DLC parts for other characters with new figures, but I guess it's fine. For sizing comparisons, Kui's standing at about 5 3/4 inches tall. Here he is next to the 24,000 power level Vegeta and Captain Ginyu. I like that he's a darker purple than Captain Ginyu, and I think he looks good with the new Vegeta. Here he is with the SH Figuarts Mash from Mashal and Kaiju number 8 from Kaiju number 8. Go check out those reviews if you haven't seen them yet. And then for some domestic figures, here he is with the NECA Lastron and Michelangelo and Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Nightcrawler. Here he is next to Porchi, so I think pretty good scaling there. Overall, while I am a little bit disappointed in the style of shoulder they went with, I still really like the figure. I think the faces with this one are great, and it's a lot of fun. So I think if you're a fan of the Dragon Ball line, you'll enjoy this figure, and I would recommend it. Other than the shoulder armor being an issue, it does still have some pretty good articulation. I wasn't expecting it to be anything crazy or hyper articulated, and I really like his design, and the silly faces really sell it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you pre-ordered this figure or if you'll be picking him up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.